Yo, Elliot. So we got this question from the Nookie. He wants to know why his squat sucks. The way he describes it is every time he squats, he comes up on his toes. He doesn't want to do that, and he wonders why that's happening and how he can correct it. So there are a couple things to consider for someone who has that up on the toe type squat. A lot of times you have tight upper hamstrings, right? Which is going to cause your, follow me if you can, stand up. It's going to cause your butt to tuck under. If you have tight upper hamstrings right underneath your ass cheeks, right? They're tight, your butt's going to sort of tuck under. So when you squat, your knees drive forward. If you can just imagine, as your hips rotate forward, they drive the knees forward. As your knees drive forward, your heels raise off the ground and you end up on your toes. So within the kinetic chain, there could be multiple muscular imbalances. That's one that's quite common. And usually there are no isolated muscular imbalances. So if you've got tight upper hamstrings and you're coming up on your toes, your calves are probably pretty tight. So stretch the upper hamstrings and the calves. The best way to do that is to sit up against a wall, right? Look, I'm starting at the hips, but it's going to go down, it's going to go up. So your shoulders are going to be tight too, right? Bouncing all over the place. So the kinetic chain dysfunction is going to look such that you're tight up here, you know, pec minor, tucked under with the butt, and you're up on your toes, or your calves, your soleus, your Achilles tendon is going to be tight. Anyway, the best way to stretch all of those in that entire dysfunctional posture is to sit, find a wall, corner of a wall, right? Sit with your butt in the corner of the wall, take your hands and turn them out like this. So there's external rotation, right? So you're sitting on the wall, you're externally rotated, your legs are out in front of you, and pick your toes up to point towards your face. So you're basically, you call that an L sit. You're basically L sitting on the wall. You may or may, as you're doing it, try to push your butt into the corner of the wall, because if you're really tight with your upper hamstrings, your ass is going to slide out, and you're going to kind of like lay down. I want you to really shove your ass into the corner. If you're as tight as I'm assuming you are, because you come up on your toes, you're going to have a hard time doing this damn thing. So you want to take your time, little by little, try to relax into that position, maybe do it while you're watching TV, or reading a book, right? Or anything else. Try to just kind of relax into that position. And what you're doing is you're letting your entire posterior chain, all the muscles in your hamstring and your calves, open up. And with that extra flexibility, you'll now have the capacity to rotate your hips forward, right? They won't be tucked under like they were before, posteriorly tilted. You're going to anteriorly tilt it. You're going to sit back while you squat, and you're going to do your best to keep your feet flat, right? Because you also stretch your shoulders by externally rotating against the wall, you're going to be able to maintain a more upright posture, and your squat should be magically fixed. Now that shit is easier said than done. You're going to have to spend a lot of time with this. But do it correctively, which means do it before you work out every single day. Before every workout, especially before you squat, do this. A lot of people want to know, why does Elliot suggest stretching before workouts? Well, it's called corrective stretching. You want to lengthen those muscles that have become taut and tonic prior to participating in any movement pattern. That way you release the holding pattern on those muscles so you can move freely, right? Makes perfect fucking sense. I don't know why the big debate. Should you stretch? Should you do static stretching before working out? Yes, and this is why. So much bullshit. Just pay attention, you know? It doesn't take very much. And that's it. I'm done ranting. I can't figure it out what I was going to say next. But that's it. Yeah, oh, and before you go to bed. Stretch it before you work out and before you go to bed. That's it, man. Good luck. Talk to you next time. Yo, Elliot.